Visiting with Parker Kligerman of the NASCAR Nationwide Series, off to Talladega Superspeedway this weekend for the Aaron's 312. Of course, Parker won the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event last fall under the caution flag. Career win number 1 in the Truck Series. Because of that win, Parker, do you view Talladega differently? Do you look forward to going to Talladega more than what you've done in the past because you were able to win there?
Well, absolutely. Any track you get to, you win at, suddenly it becomes a track in which you're, well, that place isn't that bad. Yeah. So it's definitely, once you've been able to see that checker flag and get it first and pull into victory lane, any track's going to raise in your books. But I think, the thing about super speedway racing is I saw Clint Boyer talking about it for a little bit, and he said, so many people want to say, hey, look, it's all about luck. It's all about being at the right place at the right time. And he said those are the people that aren't successful at super speedways that say that. And, I think super speedway racing is actually one of the few things, it doesn't take driver talent, but it's one of the few racing, categories out there that in terms of if you put in the homework, if you put in, if you constantly learn and study and absolutely understand the draft and where to position your race car and put it in the right places throughout the entire race, you should be able to consistently be successful and avoid the idea of thinking it's just about luck. And sure enough, that's why you see the same 5 to 10 guys each and every time we go to Super Speedway at the end fighting for the victory or fighting in the top 5. And I think it's something that's maybe a little overlooked in our sport and more put on the idea of, it's just about luck. But I think, consistently seeing the same guys in the front tells you it's more about, it might not be about luck and more about actually what the guys are doing leading up to the race in terms of how they prepare.
Daytona versus Talladega. Do you have a favorite of the two, and how do you drive one differently than the other?
I don't quite have a favorite. I think, they're just two totally different animals. Daytona's a lot skinnier. A lot of times it can be slicker just because it gets, the asphalt's a little bit darker. It takes a lot more heat. It can just get a little bit more slippery at Daytona, and it's obviously just tighter quarters at Daytona. Daytona, just doesn't quite allow you to go 4 wide like you can at Talladega, which seems to have an extra lane. It's obviously a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. And because of the extra lane and the more room and where they put the trial so large, you don't quite fight handling as bad as you would, say, at Daytona and some of the races that get hot. So I think it's just two different animals. But, I don't really have a preference. I think at the end of the day, the racing and the way you approach the races is pretty much the same strategy either. Talladega just allows you a little bit more leniency in terms of being able to hang out the back because there's always going to be room to get to the front because, it's very rare that you can have 4 wide by a couple rows unless you're in the Cup Series. So in the Nationwide Series, it allows you maybe just that chance at the end of the race if you're in the back to get to the front because it's not quite – there's always going to be a lane or room to find your way to, get around other cars.